Hello. We'll come to you
Live
from Africa! Yeah, so,
We're in Africa. We're going to talk about
how things fall apart.
From symbols,
Stay tuned.
imagery,
Themes.
it's all here right
Characters.
now.
So,
See you on the flip side.
hey.
Let's talk about the author, Chinua
Achebe.
Achebe, maybe? I don't really know. So, Chinua was a Nigerian novelist born in 1930, and he attended the University of Ibadan.
In 1958, good old Chinua published Things Fall Apart, which led him to his nickname, the Patriarch of the African Novel. Later, he served as a professor of African study at Brown University in Providence. And unfortunately, Mr. Achebe died March 21st, 2013.
82 years old.
You led a good life, Chinua.
In Boston, that's where he died.
That's where he died. Good old.
Let's get familiar with some
characters.
There's a lot of characters, but these are just the ones that we felt were most important. And their names are very interesting, so we're probably going to butcher them. Okay, so first of all, there's Okonkwo. He's pretty much the main character. He's the clan leader of Umofia.
And then there's Nuoi. There we go. This is Okonkwo's oldest son, whom Okonkwo believes is weak and lazy, so he always beats him and stuff.
Then there's Azinma, who is the only child of Okonkwo's second wife.
Then there's Ikefuna, who is the boy that Okonkwo is given by the neighborly tribe.
And then there is Mr. Brown, which is the first missionary to travel to Umofia, which is that clan.
Then there's Unoka, which is Okonkwo's father, whom Okonkwo has been ashamed of since childhood because they're nothing alike.
And then there's Akwefi, which is Okonkwo's second wife.
Akwefi, but Ogbuefi. Ogbuefi is the oldest man in the village, and he's a very important clan member.
Characters. Let's talk about the plot. So, Things Fall Apart is about Okonkwo, who was a wealthy and respected warrior of the Umofia clan, which is a lower Nigerian tribe, which is a part of 9 connected villages. He is haunted by the legacy of his father, Unoka, and that causes him to become a clansman and a warrior and a farmer. He also has a 12-year-old son named Nuoi.
So this clan has a settlement with the neighboring tribe in which Umofia wins a virgin and a 15-year-old boy named Ikefuna, and which Okonkwo takes him in as his own son. So after this, there is something called the Week of Peace. And during this, Okonkwo accuses his wife of negligence, and then he kind of beats her and threatens to kill her and all. So Okonkwo, and this kind of breaks the peace of the Week of Peace. So one day, out of the blue, after this, just a bunch of locusts come in and swarm the whole place, and this is a symbol. We'll get into that later. And
foreshadow.
And so yeah, this is gonna go on for several years.
Yeah, and so there's a man named Ogbuefi, who is a respected villager, and he informs Okonkwo that they're gonna have to kill Ikefuna, which is that boy that they got. Some of the clan members of Umofia attack Ikefuna with matches, and now he's obviously pretty scared. So he runs to Okonkwo for help, but Okonkwo really doesn't want to look weak in front of the tribe, so he just lets him die. So yeah.
Okay, so after this, Ogbuefi dies at Ikifuna's funeral. So Okonkwo kills his son, not Okonkwo's son, Ogbuefi's son. So, then this is a crime, obviously. So Okonkwo is exiled to his mother's motherland. And for 7 years. So
Yeah.
7 years.
And so, like, this leads to the whole story of his life and rebellion and such, which is
Things
the plot. Let's talk about some symbols. So, one of the symbols is going to have to be fire, because Okonkwo basically represents flames and burning with his dangerous anger. And he acknowledges this later in the novel, that fire destroys everything it consumes, just like when he killed Ikemifuna and Ogbuefi's son. Fire also feeds off itself until it dies, just like Okonkwo when he succumbs to his anger and lets it get the best of him and ultimately destroy him. Symbols.
Symbols. Yeah. Symbols.
Symbols.
Yeah. Symbols. Okay, let's go. Okay, another symbol in the story. Big symbol. Comes up a lot. Locusts. Locusts are these big giant bug things that look like giant mosquitoes, and basically they represent the arrival of the white settlers who want to basically take advantage of and exploit all the resources of the Igbo. And because in the story the Igbo end up actually eating the locusts, I feel like this is a symbol in itself. It kind of shows how innocuous they take them to be. So, in chapter 15, actually, Obikira says that the oracle states, like, directly that the white men were locusts. So that's pretty obvious.
A
There's
symbol.
So,
one of the themes is masculinity. Okonkwo has a relationship with his father that shapes much of his violent character and why he's so aggressive.
tell him.
He wants to rise above his father's indolent and effeminate legacy, which he believes is weak, and he doesn't want to be seen as that. The clan calls any man who does not take on a prestigious title, they call him a bala, which is a woman, and that's an insult to them. And then Okonkwo associates masculinity with aggression, and it feels that the only emotion he should show is anger, and that explains why he beats his wives and threatens to kill them. On his exile for 7 years, he spends some time with his kinsmen, and he realizes that they live a life very different from him. They value compromise and negotiation, and like to stay away from anger and like killing and stuff like that. And he thinks that that's very feminine and weak, and he does not like that.
No, he did not.
All right, what's another theme?
I think, Tate, that another theme would have to be adapting to new tradition. And I say this because as a story about a culture on the verge of a total change of tradition, the characters in the story undergo kind of having to deal with the prospect and the reality of change and the effects that they have on, all the individuals. And an example of that would be Okonkwo. He basically resists the new political and religious orders because, going back to Tate's theme, he feels that they are not manly. And he fears that he will become less manly if he consents to them. So the main concern on whether or not to embrace Christianity is a pressing issue throughout the story. They begin to face the dilemma of trying to determine now how to best adapt to the reality of change. And many tribe members are actually excited about the new opportunities that the missionaries kind of bring. Although, on the other hand, the other spectrum, the big hand, the European influence now threatens to extinguish the original traditions and culture of the tribe. So, there we go.
Yay! Let's talk about some imagery.
Imagery.
So, imagery can be seen throughout the novel through the description of human wisdom and behavior. They use animal anecdotes to explain their rituals and beliefs.
And the presence of animals reflects their enthusiasm in their environments in which they live, and it not yet being modernized by European influence.
Let's talk about history.
Okay, so the book connects to Euro because it was set in the 1890s and portrays the clash of the European missionaries when they traveled to third world countries to try to convert natives to Christianity.
And it can also be connected because just like Henry VIII, Okonkwo had a lot of wives.
Okonkwo
had so many wives that he liked to be.
instead.
Who had so many wives that had to die. Okonkwo had so many
wives that had to die. Oh,
Okonkwo,
he's so dreamy.
There's boys over there.
Ah. Looks like it's going in your ear. Oh, cool trick.
Well, that's it. That's all we got for you. Hope you enjoyed.
Hope you enjoyed.
Bye. Bye.